Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back to another Poem Masters video, and it's been a while since we've done this, so let's do this. Okay, so the 6-star EX priority list, again, here's the thing, this is highly subject to your own account, so do not take this as like, this is the order, you have to do this. It depends on your account, man. Alright, right, there's a lot of things. For example, you know, maybe there's a unit that might be overall more worth EXing than another, but like you're fine in that type, or you're fine in that kind of unit that like you don't have any issues there, right? Maybe you want to EX something else that maybe isn't as good overall of value, but your account needs a bit more, right? Needs a bit more help in. So again, very much subject to your own account. I can't look at everyone's account and tell you what you got or whatever, right? So that part's up to you. I'm just giving overall suggestions, right? So yeah, as usual, I guess most of the tier list stuff applies. So let me throw up the disclaimer. And although it's not like a tier list, right? It's not a tier list. Minus the support, I guess. The support part, basically, there's really not too much to talk about in terms of supports. Again, if you want the explanations for all these that are here already, you could check out the previous video. Supports are just do them based on how good that freaking support is. Like, just look at the regular tier list, look at where those supports are there, and then just do it based on that, right? There's nothing. There's like a few units that have like something special they do on their sync, right? Whether it's they mega or they have like a really nice passive that activates on sync, like Catalyst or Adrenaline or something like that, right? Like those are okay. You maybe get like 1 or 2 extra points for that, but generally supports just EX the stronger supports, right? So nothing too much to that. So let's first go over a few changes. Not much I really want to change here. There is one big one, which is Cynthia, thanks to Ground Zone existing and them expanding her sync grid to make her sync not a complete meme, right? So she upgrades over here, right? Again, none of these are ordered. These are not ordered. These are just more so categorized. This is good nukes with very good DPS as well. Again, this is how you should use these, all right? Look in this tier. Look at which units you have, and look at what you're struggling with, right? For example, in this list, you're like, okay, well, Leon, but I'm good with fire type damage. I'm slightly struggling with, like, I don't know, steel type damage. All right, so I'm gonna EX Kimono Grimsley instead, right? So that's my suggestion on how to use this. All right, just look at these. These are all, I'd say, I wouldn't say equally valuable, but relatively close in value, right, in terms of what you get from them in an EX. So just pick and choose, all right, yourself. So there's that. So yeah, that's the main one I want to move, and then the other one would be in the similar vein, which is, oh, never mind, she's not moved, she's new, but Karen, same thing. But yeah, I think that's basically it. There's not anything too much over here, right? So yeah, even though we did get Fighting Zone, getting these guys to sync with Fighting Zone still up is not hard, but it's also not like, you know, necessary. So we're not really gonna move these. If you want, you know, you could go for them, but I mean, it's not that big of a deal, honestly, right? So all right, let's get in some new units then. So okay, starting off with, let's not start off with her. Start with the red. I mean, this one's pretty easy, right? Very good nuke, very good DPS. I think the second highest electric nuke out of that, or you know, depending on if there's SE up or not, right? If there's an SE up for him, then the highest. If not, second highest, right? Electric nuke. So very good and really decent DPS as well. The AoE no damage split thing, right? So that's pretty obvious. He's up here, okay? Hapu, man. Do you have a sync nuke multiplier? Yes. Is it one of the worst in the game? Yes, in hide and sync. Not very much worth ever setting up. Honestly, it's until we get a unit that could really, you know, lower the opponent's accuracy faster and more reliably, while still maintaining some elements where they could, you know, max out Hapu's stats, because you need ground zone, which Courtney doesn't max any stats for you, and then you have like, you only have +2 attack, you don't have any crit buffs, and then you need actually debuff. This is just impossible, right? Nearly impossible. I wouldn't say impossible, like you could do Ingo, but like that's pretty terrible too. So she has a nuke. No, please. For the love of God. Okay. Moving on, or Cynthia, again, it's just, you know, just refer to the, for supports, just refer to, like, regular tier lists afterwards. I mean, she's definitely up there, right? So, nothing too much to talk about there. And she is definitely, like outside of your regular, you know, outside of the regular, you want to support EX, all that stuff, talk through support EX. She also sets fighting zone on every sync, so like, and Megas gets a bunch of defenses. She's like one of the top candidates to like support EX. That's pretty obvious, right? Moving on, Pikachu, he has a good sync, right? It's just the only thing is, like, on the teams that he's on, right? Like, did you sync with Pikachu that much? Probably not. Most time you probably sync with Red, probably sync with your EX support, just because those are much better options. But if you want to sync with them, right? I mean, it's still a striker AoE sync, right? Can you do it? Sure, you can do it. It's a pretty good sync, right? So, yeah, nothing too bad there. I mean, damn, you got like N up here, which has like a much worse sync than him. So, only fair, right? Only fair. So, moving on, Courtney. Courtney does have a very good sync. She definitely does have a good sync. Is her DPS that good? Not really. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. Maybe we'll put her here, right? She is definitely more of a utility-ish unit. But the utility thing she does is like her bulldoze, which also does damage at the same time. So she's in a weird spot, I guess. But yeah, she definitely does have a very good sync. And on top of that, you also do have a chance to get like an extra ground zone on sync if you really are running out of ground zone. So there's also that for Courtney. Moving on, Drake. This is not something you really want to... Alright. This guy's alright. Again, does he really do anything super interesting on sync? No, not really. It's just that, like, he's just a good, solid support, right? So, nothing too crazy there. Hilda, same thing, right? What else? This guy... The sync is good. It's just that, like... Would you really, like, EX him over any of, like, these other guys? I don't even know. Should I put him here? His DPS is a bit too high to be over here, right? I think his DPS just destroys, like, everyone in this. Actually, not really. What's, I think he's pretty close to Hilda, right? Let me check real quick. So, Hilda. No, he destroys Hilda in DPS too. I don't know. I mean, I could name you like 5 other fire units you should probably EX over this guy. Look, if you really want to EX him, that's fine, right? There's a lot more fire units that you might want to EX over him. And yeah, I mean, he has like N levels damage, which I guess you could maybe say is not that great, but whatever, we'll put him here. It's like 700k. Moving on. Although it's on the higher side of 700k. This guy, are you kidding me? He's literally, you know, in debate for the best unit in the game. His sync is incredibly powerful, especially if you go over with attack form, where he has a tech nuke that goes AoE. He's the #1 AoE sync nuker in the entire game, right? No one's up to his level, right? Very powerful. This is a no-brainer. If you pull him, you gotta EX him. I don't, like, why would you even pull him if you're not EXing him? Although you may say it's overkill, but It's a good kind of overkill. It's a good overkill. End's a weird one. End's a weird one. Is this sync nuke good? It's powerful, right? Is it easy to set up? Not really. Is it incredibly hard to set up? Also not really, right? It's in like a weird spot-ish, right? It's like it's in a weird spot in terms of it's not easy to set up. It's not incredibly like hard to set up either. Because Devastation, Obscuring Sync, you just run like Darkrai and something like a Lucian, and then boom, you know, you got it solved, or Brendan, right, whatever, or well, not regular Brendan, SS Brendan. So you can solve it. It's not like insanely bad to set up anymore. But on the other hand, you do have to consider the energy cost, right? Because if you pick up Obscuring Sync and Devastation, you don't have enough to pick up both Obscuring Power 3 and Furious Brain, which, you know, you might not think is the biggest deal in the world. Also, the special attack plus 20. It's just that his DPS is so good. Sometimes it's just a waste to go for a Sync Nuke when his DPS is so powerful, man. Because, again, if you are going for a Sync Nuke, you are missing out on his DPS. Would you say, well, damn, so his sync nuke is very, very powerful. It's really cool. You get a lot of extra stuff. Super sync, whatever, this and that. Yeah, you do. You do. Is it really worth running over his DPS? I personally don't think so. Plus, it's a bit of a hassle. So, but hey, regardless, the nuke is good. If you want to set it up, that's your freedom, right? So we'll put him up here just because, objectively, if you look at the numbers, it's a good nuke, right? It's a good nuke. So there it is, right? It's not like these guys where it's like really not worth setting up, right? That are, you know, not easy to set up, but like also just straight up not really worth it. Although it's not that bad for Wally anymore. If you're not like doing Fighting Zone, you just go in with like Gojo Gloria, but whatever. Anyways, moving on. SS May easily, right? One of the top damage dealers in the game as well, right? Both her nuke, both her and DPS, incredibly powerful. Plus, you get Mega Blaziken out of it, and you get the extra, you know, crazy defense debuffs, all that stuff after you Mega into Blaziken. So it's definitely one of the most worth EXing units here. I'd say probably the most worth EXing like Fire type damage dealer, right? If you want to look at like you got like Red, Leon, Serena, Hilda, Annie, this guy. And SS May, I'd say SS May is easily the best one out of these, right? To really EX, just because the amount of value you gain from her is insane, right? After syncing with her, so you know, if you're wondering, hey, so many fire types, which one should I EX? I'd say SS May. She's that good, man. Moving on to Karen. Ha ha ha, Karen went from one of the literal like meme, like so bad, right? It would definitely be here. To an actually respectable sync now that she's getting her power boost, right? So one of the biggest surprises in 2022, man. Karen sync actually not like terrible. It's actually pretty good now, and her DPS is very, very good. And here's the key: if you want to use her unironically as a damage dealer, meaning you want to go and Dark Pulse DPS with her, you have to sync with her. If you don't sync with her, no Dark Pulse, this unit is useless, right? Well, you can run some Bite, Poison, Flinch, Snarl, Tech, Houndoom thing, yes. But like, if you want it for DPS, you have to sync with her, which is why also a very, very good option for I forgot what I was about to say. Oh, for EXing as well. Fantastic option now. All right, moving on. What's we got? Again, top tier support, always a good, you know, option to EX, especially supports that like also mega, right? Like you know, Latios, Mega Lucario, whatever, all that stuff. What else? Blue, Alakazam. I think those are the main ones. Sableye, right? Especially the ones that like mega. You get some extra tanking stats as well. So, well, not everyone gets tank stats. She gets offensive stats for support. Very, very cool. Love it. Anyways, Moving on, Dojo Gloria, easily one of the top nukers in the game, extremely easy to set up. She is like insane, straight up, right? She's like water version of SSMA, basically. 100%, 100%, 100%. If there were one water unit to EX in this game, and there's a lot. Water type damage healer. Water type damage healer to EX in the game. My recommendation would be Dojo Gloria, right? Of all the types, I would recommend Dojo Gloria to be EX. Yeah, easily. Over Nessa, over regular May, over whatever else you got. Barry, Sharpedo. Come on. Yeah, Kyogre. Moving on. Looker. Oh, Looker, I guess it's sort of in this category where you really rely on their sync to do damage, so like, yeah, this is sort of the category of units where they're overall damage-wise, right? Damage-wise, not that great overall, right? None of these guys have like great damage. I mean, SC Ingo kind of does, but he also like runs out of it in like 3 hits, so that's pretty bad. So none of these guys have like stupid damage, but it's just, if you really want to use them for damage, you kind of have to EX them so they actually do some good damage, because their syncs all do relatively nice damage, right? So this is the weird category these units are in, right? So, and Looker's definitely one of them. Looker's DPS is not great. He mainly gets carried by his sync nuke, so if you really want to make Looker useful, you should probably EX him, right? So, kind of like that. Moving on. This guy, bro. This guy. Oh, I'm so sad. Oh. Can't wait till we get a better one. This one, he does have a good... he does have a nuke, right? Is it that terrible to set up now that we have, Dojo Gloria? It's not that terrible, but it's also not powerful. So it's like not really worth it. Does he rely on it to do any damage at all? Yes. But is it good damage? No. So it's like, we'll put him here. Have not worth setting up nukes. Actually, damn, I don't even... I don't know, bro. I would EX these two over him any day of the week. I mean, I already did EX those two over him, so... I literally did in my account, personal account. He fits the description. He's just avoid him, alright? If you want a rock type unit, like, do like Emmett or like Blue or Hilda, alright? Any of those people. Even Olivia, fam. Any of those people. Please. Moving on. Her. She is definitely worth. Right? Incredibly powerful sync. Plus you get MP back on that sync for Spectral Thief, right? She's so underrated, man. People don't talk about her enough. She just came at a very unfortunate time. Literally right before Honark. Right after Johto. Like, dude, her and Dojo Gloria, incredible units. Insane units. Came at the worst time possible, right after Johto Arc, where everyone spent their gems on the Masters, which, by the way, totally worth it if you spent them on the Johto Masters, right? Came right after the Johto Masters, and right before the Hoenn Arc, and the anniversary. So, fantastic units. Worst possible timing ever. I know this is supposed to be an EX video. I'm getting slightly off topic, but let's get back to it. I just feel bad for these two a bit. They're really good, though. Anyways, moving on. Rosa is, yeah, she's basically like a grass special version of May and Gloria in a way. So definitely very good nuke there, very good DPS. 100% worth EXing if you do get her in the future, as no one really has her right now. So alright, there we go, I guess. Again, just mostly ignore the support part. Just check out the tier list video when we do that at the end of the month for supports. There's a few that have like some extra stuff that are kind of nice to get if you are syncing with them, right? But otherwise, that's that. And yeah, again, just this is not ordered in any way. Just you know, just make your own decisions. I mean, if you really want me to recommend one type for each that has multiple types in this category. You know what? I'll do that real quick. Alright, so let me just quickly order them by type so it's easier to see. Alright, quickly order them a bit. So it's starting from dark over here. I'd say of all of these, it's a tough one. Because NN is definitely the strongest one out of these, but I do feel like his nuke is probably... And it's not a bad nuke, it's a powerful nuke. We've talked about that before. But it's kind of one that you could live without, if that makes any sense, right? So I'd say maybe for dark type, personally I'd recommend Karen, right? As for these two, as powerful as SS Giovanni is, and he really is, I'd say same applies here, right? Like, his nuke is very, very nice. He's an overall, I'd say he's the overall better unit than Garchomp. But Garchomp just gets a bit more from it, and if you don't sync with SS Nidoking, you're still doing really, really good, right? And if you don't sync with them, sync with the X support, you're still rolling, right? Very, very nice. There's only one flying type here. Let's see over here. As for these guys, probably... Who the hell is this guy? Emmett, right? I think it's Emmett. Yeah, no, this one's Emmett. So, sorry. He's just overall better, right? He's better than those two, like, by far. Like, this is not, like, super close. Especially since Ingo is very, very pro Emmett, right? It helps Emmett much, much more than Ingo helps Elder or Berg over here. Pretty easy to set up nuke, right? I mean, much, much easier to set up nuke than the other two. So, yeah, this one's Emmett, right? So, moving on. These only have one here. For the dragons... Oh, damn. I don't know, man. They're all so good. God. Here's the thing. SS Serena has like the second or third highest AoE nuke in the entire game. But I'm tempted to say Lucas, just because Lucas's is also very easy to set up. Plus, he is literally the Dragon Zone unit. So, like, you kind of have to put him in, like, a lot of Dragon-type teams. And Serena is so powerful that, like, if you don't sync with her, she's still crushing it, right? So, I mean, Lucas would still crush it. I'd say either one. Really depends on you. Right? Serena, Lucas. Yeah. Just depends on which one you have, I guess. As for water, talked about that already. Dojo Gloria would definitely be my recommendation. For grass types, damn, it's a tough one. Grass type is a tough one. I'd definitely say not Mallow. Mallow's just a bit tougher to set up. Not Brendan. It's between these three. These three are all very, very, very good. I'm tempted to say Rosa. Maybe Rosa. SC Sonya. You won't go wrong with any of these three, I'd say, over here. Fighting, there's only one here. As for electric, I'd say red. Yeah, I'd say red. If you do Ash, that's fine too. I mean, if you do anyone here in this category is fine. I mean, they're all good, right? That's why they're here. But I'd probably recommend red overall, right? Just because his sync nuke is much more powerful. It's not super hard to set up either. So yeah, and again, it's not like. Also, he just gains the most from syncing because his overall DPS, single target wise, right? DPS isn't like as good as someone like Ash or like Newer Volkner or whatever. So, moving on to steel types. Oh, I'd say Marnie. Yeah, I'd say Marnie. I think Grimsley, if I remember correctly, I do think Grimsley does have a slightly higher nuke. But Marnie, first of all, she megas, so you do get that. Also, she is the Steel Zone unit, so she's more... There's going to be more teams that you have Palatine's Marnie in, right, in comparison. Fire type, I already said. SS May. Ghost types... I don't know. I'd say there's an argument for all three of these. Her nuke isn't, like, super powerful. Also, it's mainly on-type nuke. But like, it's just so convenient. It's so easy. You click a button, wait for your turn to sync, click and sync, everything's set up. Again, it's not a super powerful sync, but generally should be powerful enough. But these two just get, I don't know, man. She gets MP back on her sync though, which is so good. Which is such a. Honestly, I kind of want to say SS Karina. Again, won't go wrong with any of these three. The one slight issue with Renegade Cynthia is her physical special split, because your regular DPS Shadow Ball is special, and then your Sync is physical, so there might be an argument to not do Cynthia over there, but also on the other hand, she is a Ghost Zone setter, so like all the other zone setters like we've talked about, she's just going to be in the most amount of teams, right? Most amount of situations, so there's all of that. And then Psychic types, oh my, this Battle of the Gods, bro. Literally, you could EX anyone here, and it's good, right? Although I'd say maybe Lear the least priority, just because he doesn't get... Which is crazy, because Lear's nuke is insane, but, like, he just gets the least out of these three. His nuke is just straight up very, very powerful. Does he really get that much from the nuke? Not really. It's just a very freaking powerful nuke. Again, strongest AoE nuke in the game by far. And then Mei Latias, first of all, very, very powerful sync nuke, but also you get Mega Latias, right? Very, very good, especially with the added or powered up passive with the special attack debuffs and stuff. And then SS Luzamine, you get, you know, Ultra Necrozma, which makes her moves AoE with no split damage. So all three of them have very, very good arguments, I'd say. So it's really up to you, whatever, right? Can't go wrong with either. So anyways, that's really this one, I guess. Hope you all enjoyed them, guys. Think in the comments down below. Like, enjoy the videos, for our channel for some more Opponent Mouse's content, all this stuff. And yeah, have fun. I'll see you guys in the next one.